So I'm Matthias Alarcon, and today this GAC assessment I'm going to talk about biotechnology and the future of medicine. So first, just a quick introduction to biotechnology, just to know what is biotechnology. So in its simplest term, biotechnology is literally the creation of new technology via new or live organisms. So yeah, it's a very new method, and it's also very impressive because with the capability of adaptation of cellular organisms is higher than normal, for example, magnesium, I don't know, technology, and so. Okay, so we have three types of biotechnology. The first one is, we call it red biotechnology or medical biotechnology. So biotech is helping to heal the world by harnessing nature's own toolbox and using our own genetic makeup to heal, and guidelines of research by, for example, you can create new organisms that target certain types of cells in the body to cure diseases, or you can change genetic codes in humans or other animals to cure diseases and also genetic malformations in the DNA. Then we have the so-called green biotech or the environmental biotechnology, which of course searches the new sources of energy, which is friendly with the environment and allows for better resource of biological systems in order to stop harming the planet and the environment. That's just a very quick overview of green biotech. And for example, we have some examples here, such as the creation of biofuels, which create less CO2 emissions than traditional gasoline, etc. And lastly, we have the blue biotechnology, which focuses on crops, food, to make it less easier to get some kind of insect in it, or to be able to get higher crop yields with fewer inputs. We can also help the properties of food via biotech in order to improve cardiovascular health and many other diseases and possible future problems. So today we're gonna focus on red biotech, and I'm gonna talk about three advances in medical biotech that are impressive and are the breakthrough of technology right now. So first we have the CRISPR-Cas9 system. So the CRISPR-Cas9 system is an enzyme. It's a specific enzyme which is used in medical biotech in order to read certain pieces of DNA. So the enzyme reads those pieces, takes them away, which for example can be a mutation in the DNA that could example be expressed as a disease. So you cut that gene and you introduce a new programmed DNA which is normal and has no diseases in it. So the importance of CRISPR-Cas9 in the genetic engineering world is the most advanced right now, and it is actually being used in many different genome facilities. Now we have the xenobots. So the xenobots is the first biologically robot made by humans. So what the scientists did is actually create a new life form which can be programmed to. You can program the xenobot in order to move in certain directions, and what the xenobot is let's just say a clump of cells which has in a specific form, this form, which gives it the ability to move. So one of the main future uses, because this is very new, of nanobots could be, for example, inserting them in your arteries, in your bloodstream, in order for them to go to, for example, a tumor that is in the liver, and take it away, break it away, and so yeah, this is actually something that was discovered this year, and it's something very new. So we actually haven't seen the full consequences of the creation of the first biological robots. And lastly, we have Neuralink. So Neuralink is actually a proposition by Elon Musk, and what Neuralink does is reduce the time in which you can connect to the internet. So Neuralink is like a fiction in which you connect your mind to the internet. So how Elon Musk explains Neuralink is that you reduce the time in which you interface with, for example, your phone. So your phone won't be in your pocket anymore; it will be in your mind. So just a few questions in order for you guys to think about. Can genetic engineering go too far? If so, where should the limit be posed? I think the limit should be posed in when it comes to, for example, enhancing of the intellect, because that will make a very imbalanced, like environment for the people that can get those types of genetic engineering. Now, by creating new living organisms such as the xenobot, should we as humans take up the role of nature and evolution? I think that's very, you have to be very careful with it, because taking the role of evolution by creating our organisms can have very big repercussions that might not be, we might not be able to go back from. And lastly, do you think you will hook up your brain directly with a computer anytime soon? Or do you think you will just stick to using your smartphone for now? So this is something that will become a reality in the near future. So you actually have to start asking yourselves these questions, because this will happen and some people will have it and we will live it. Lastly, a repercussion of all the new technologies and biotechnologies that are emerging is the so-called technological singularity, or just plain singularity. The singularity, I think it's very well explained by this graph. So as we can see, the intellect of the human is represented as something linear. So we start here, and this is our intellect line. Then in the 1950s, we were introduced to these types of biotech. But the thing is that the intellect of the new biosystems is exponential. So actually, the intelligence of the new systems is increasing higher than us. And then there will be a point in which our machines will outperform us. So we have to know how to control this in order for us not to get overwhelmed by our own creations. So that would be all by my part. Any questions?
Okay, aren't we playing like the game of being God?
I think we are not currently, but we are in the verge of doing so. So I think that the next years will decide that. We have to be very careful on what we do, on how we manipulate ourselves, and how we manipulate our new organisms, because they can evolve themselves, and we might not be able to control them anymore. So,
Okay. Do you think that one day this technology might give us a chance, or enable us to regenerate organs in the body?
yeah, actually, right now we have something called mother cells, let's just call them these, which are cells that can be yeah, fostered in a lab and create new like human organisms via laboratories. But we cannot currently make all organs. For example, we cannot make brains, we cannot make hearts, but we can make, for example, livers. And I think that's it.
And the final question is like, if you are going to carry your own computer in your own mind, don't you think that there will be more like cyber crimes committed, just like people who are walking in the street, having a coffee while they are, like doing things in their own minds?
I think that is actually a very like plausible reality that there will be a lot of hackers if we have our computers in our minds. So I think that before releasing such an invention, you have to really have a super hard software that can't be reached. And also, well, I think that if these systems are imposed, they won't actually affect the person that much if they are hacked. But as we don't actually have a real application right now, I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.